26th day of the month of March. Who would have possibly imagined? I want to say good morning, then, of course, to our listeners, our viewers now that have just joined us in GBN's television. That's Channel 7, Channel 11, Channel 20 if you're in cable. Those of you that's on the World Wide Web at www.gbn.gd, or you probably chiming in via Facebook or via our YouTube channel. Good morning to you. And again, a special good morning to our listeners on Hot 9, not Hot 90, on Classic 105.5 and 105.9. Welcome to the televised edition of the Mid-Morning Buzz. It's your boy JC here with you. Still, we have 1 hour to do this, and the conversation turns to all football. And when I tell you it's all football, I mean it is all football. My first stop, she's not a stranger to GBN, she's not a stranger to TV, she's not a stranger to any one of us. Some calls her Golden. But for the purpose of today's conversation, we're going to be calling her Areen Lewis, and she's the commercial officer inside of the Grenada Football Association. Good morning, Areen. How are you?
Good morning, Joseph. I am fine. Good morning to your listeners. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for accepting the invitation and being here. Of course, the conversation is going to be surrounding football last night. After quite a rest, there hasn't been much of football, compliments COVID, but certainly last night we got a chance to see Grenada take on. They suited up against El Salvador last night. Did you get a chance to watch a game?
I did look at the game. I was on the edge of my seat all night because it was indeed a very competitive game. And as you would have said, it's been a year since the team played together on the field. So I think it was a very competitive game. The guys, they worked hard and they gave it their all. And there was so much Grenadians tuned in, showing that support on GBN TV.
I know that there were some people who literally got a mouthful with spit last night because they were the naysayers, and they're probably thinking, Grenada, El Salvador. El Salvador ranked 18th, 6th in CONCACAF, and Grenada 18th. And even if, you could always argue, but in terms of where the level at which these two different Grenada plays and El Salvador plays, it's at two different levels. But of course, you said the guys gave a really, really good account of themselves, and it shows that the growth of the game on the island.
Correct. I mean, it's definitely a reflection coming off our qualifications for Gold Cup in 2020. Despite COVID, I think, we're at the association, we're very proud. We ranked 18th and we came up against El Salvador, which is in the top 10. So I think that in itself is an achievement, and it is definitely an opportunity to recollect, regroup, and definitely come hard for the upcoming game on Tuesday, 30th.
Yes, it is indeed a home and away encounter. For those of you that's probably you're not sure how the tournament works, so it's a qualification for the World Cup in Qatar. Yes, you're hearing us right. Grenada qualifying World Cup. Yeah, believe me, that's what is on here. So now, of course, you could put it in perspective now. Literally, where we at? They're playing out of Group A, Areen, and of course, there's the U.S. Virgin Islands. There is, of course, El Salvador, Antigua, and Grenada is actually third. Grenada is actually ranked third in the group.
Yes, we are. And that is primarily to our success over the past 2-3 years, and the fact that we qualified for Gold Cup and we're ranked with teams like, the USA, Mexico, Canada. So we have definitely achieved a lot, and we continue to grow. Of course, football is a game. There must be a winner, and there must be somebody coming off on the other side, and we're definitely on the other side for this game. But we have only just begun. We have multiple games coming up. We have a home game on Tuesday, 30th against USVI, and in June we head back out to Antigua to play Antigua at their home, and then we head back to Grenada on the 8th to play Montserrat. So don't be discouraged. It's definitely it's just the nature of the sport, and we can guarantee you that the guys, they're pumped and they're ready to head back to Grenada to give us that win that we need against USVI.
No, don't worry about those fellas in El Salvador. We're going to sort them out, and we're going to make sure that they make us see all the trouble that they made us see to get into El Salvador. Listen, we're going to get on the red carpet, let them come in and rest themselves.
I mean, it was indeed a challenge for the team traveling to El Salvador.
Yeah.
Especially some of the players, they had to go through a lot of connecting flights. So given the circumstances, I must say that I'm proud, and it is not easy to travel and still play during this time.
It indeed is a trying time for the GFA, trying for football. I think for any sport, any part of the world anyway. But certainly there's going to be the return leg. And for those of you that's following it is played on a home and away basis. Areen, the top team from the group, they will make their way out, and they will be playing in the next round the likes of the USA, Panama, Costa Rica. So it only shows the level at which the guys they're expected to deliver.
Definitely. And I believe that with the experience that the team have, this is definitely an opportunity for us to make Grenada proud. This is definitely the opportunity for fans to show their support. This is definitely the opportunity for stakeholders, corporate sponsors to show their support behind the team, because it just means that we need to train harder and we need that level of support behind us.
It's interesting you talk about the level of support and training harder, because the last time when they played at that level, it was in 2004 when they played against the USA, and if you put it in context, the United States, they lost 3-0 when they played away. When they came home, they lost 3-2. So, I mean, you look at the strengths of the team, the success the U.S. has had in football, the structure that they have. And as they say, little Jukutui, just to put it that way, it's a little Jukutu Grenada. You literally, I mean, the boys indeed, the team, they've given a really, 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 really good account of themselves.
Indeed, and we should all be proud as Grenadians, because once they win, Grenada win. It is definitely a we effort and not a they effort. So I just have to thank everybody for showing their support. We already have Glen Springwater, who is the official sponsor for the national team. They'll be supplying the team water for the entire season. We have Grenada Breweries, who is also backing us and supporting us. So we do have a number of partners that are definitely supporting football, and I wish to give them, that acknowledgement.
While Areen, you say hats off to them, the reality is that for football to grow, it has to start here at home. And certainly you did make the appeal that it takes money to run football. And certainly you would like to, of course, to see greater financial injection from the corporate community towards the sport, wouldn't you?
Yes, we would. Because the FA is doing a lot behind the scenes. Everything is a bit more challenging with COVID tests, with the protocols. Even the travel is much more expensive. The team training, they can no longer train in groups. Transportation, you would have to get 2 buses. So everything is definitely on the plus side. And on top of that, we're not able to have fans at the stadium. So it's definitely, apart from that, we're doing a number of initiatives. Like we would help with injury support, educational support, training, development for our match officials. So the FA is doing a lot. We have 2 lovely ladies out in the US right now on scholarships funded by the FA. So we are doing a lot, and that is through the support of the corporate organizations that have supported us. So it doesn't matter how small, but it does go a long way.
We're going to talk a while about some of the other off the field things that the FA is involved with. But just to get back into why there need to be support for the game. A lot of times, a lot of people do not see the expenses that's involved in traveling. I mean, even if let's just say it's just a play at home, here or at home, there is a training, there's a housing, and as you said, an important element with COVID now being added into the equation. No longer can you say, okay, I have to travel for a game. The game is on the 25th. I'm going to show up 3 days before. You can't do that. You can't, because now you have to make sure the team, whatever protocols, you have to be there. They have to be placed in a bubble and all of those different things. And while nobody talks about it, and besides the team that travels, there is the 11 men you see on the field at any given time. But the contingent is much larger than that. And there's also the technical staff and trainers and everybody else that actually goes with the team.
Yes, it's a lot. I mean, you see the players on the field, but there is a lot behind the field happening. And as you said, the cost is just it's much more than we would have hoped that it would be. But we have found ways to overcome. We are trying to make it work because our goal is to develop football in Grenada and give the players an opportunity to play. I mean, some of the players never stopped training. They did their own personal training at home because most are professional players. They play football for a living. Some of the players engaged in the national team are part of the elite program, which is a program that we launched with a number of players being able to do football on a full-time basis. So no longer are you going to go to work and then come after training. You train full-time to develop your skills as a football player. So that is one of the initiatives that we launched this year, and we're hoping to see corporate sponsors backing this initiative because we have so much young youths with potential, and we're also offering them a chance to do personal development courses that would help them excel better in life, because we must strike a balance between on the field and off the field. So the elite program also covers the travel allowances. So we're doing a lot, and maybe this is an opportunity for me to say everything that we have going on. We're definitely busy.
The reality is that, I mean, and I know you just touching the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg, when you mention what is it the FA is involved in. But you would agree with me, Areen, I know everybody is that's involved in football and sports, as a matter of fact, that football, sports, is no longer what you knew it 30 years ago. On the evening, you go bust a sweat, and that's what that was the attitude towards it years ago. But now, sports, football, it offers it's being played professionally, and it offers as myriad of advantages, scholarships, opportunities to travel, educational opportunities.
Yes, and most of the players you see now, there are players that are only interested in becoming a football player, a professional player, and they should be given a fair opportunity as same as somebody who wants to be a doctor. And so definitely we have seen that, and over the years we are putting things in place to support players who want to pursue football professionally. No longer, yes, we still have persons that look at football as a recreational sport, but it is definitely a profession. And apart from that, even being a player, you have opportunities to work within the FA. We do have our good keeper, Andre Charles, who is in the financial department. We have Bruce Swan, who is our competitions officer, a former player. He's very well known. You know, our president himself was a former player as well. So there are definitely opportunities career-wise as well as a professional player within football.
As you talk about the opportunities and development, I was in there and I was last in there this week. I noticed you had a young lady that was there, and I understand that she's part of the female national squad.
Yes, so she is also part of the elite program that I mentioned, and part of her arrangement is that she plays football and she also comes to the office and shadow most of us, the officers in-house, to get that level of experience that would nurture them into being able to transition into the workplace. So we provide that opportunity for our female players presently. We have two with us And they have been very, very, very exemplary in terms of the support to the departments.
Areen, while we're on it, I think it'll be a nice way to segue into women in football, as you talked about shadowing the officers inside of there. Because I know what Nisha ain't know nothing about football. If I ask Nisha which direction the goal is associated, I'm just joking. Nisha probably don't even know where. You know, I believe Nisha, you know the folks that they go to watch a sport and they would support it, and when you leave you ask them, Nisha, what was the score? Which goal? I know. She just supported. She just supported. I'm just joking. But let's talk about the involvement as we talk about the expansion of the sport. The involvement of women in football at an administrative level within the GFA. You have the likes of yourself, Nisha, and there are others. There is a women's arm of football. Let's talk about that.
Yes. So one of the disadvantage is we have more men in the sport naturally. So we definitely wanted to see more women on board. So we're doing a lot of initiatives. We recently had a director on the board of directors who is responsible for ensuring that women's football is developed. We have a women's officer, Harry Valley, who is nurturing and growing the grassroots programs. We've had, prior to COVID, we've had all the female, the U15, the senior team in training constantly. They will resume soon once we're able to get permission for them to be back on the field of play. And of course, we included women into the elite program because we definitely want to nurture and grow women in football.
Prior to COVID, though, I know the national team, the under 15, the under 7, they were really going great guns in some of the regional tournaments. Sometimes they were literally making our their male counterparts look a little bit bad.
And that's a goal. And that's a goal. We want the women to excel the same. They're very passionate about the game because, you know, with women, we're very passionate. So if you think a man is passionate about football, you should hear the ladies speak about football. So that is the direction that we want to take. We want more women involved at all levels. And another thing, we want parents to be involved more in, especially the youth, the U15, the U19. We're launching these programs soon. And one of the things we need soccer moms.
Soccer, okay, yeah.
Soccer moms.
and it's an American coined term, but it's just suddenly wonder why is it that you look at the bigger countries and there's so much support, because families, parents understand the role of the support factor that a child needs, not just in football, but across any arena. So they, as you call them, the soccer moms, the baseball moms, they literally, and listen to me, I've seen some, and they create a frenzy, you know, as you said, if you think men are passionate about football, I've seen those soccer moms, believe me, they literally, I mean, a guy would go, he watch football, okay, get a little emotional during the game. But these soccer moms, they take the frenzy on the field, off the field, weeks after, weeks before.
Yes, and one of the teams that we saw that with was the U15 St. John Sports. Last year we had finals for the U15, and what they did, they rallied the support from the parents. They organized a bus. Right. The parents were there. They were on the sidelines. They were energetic. They were pumped, and actually the team won. And I think it made a difference. The spirit, the drive that the players played with, knowing that they have that support, it is definitely different. So we have a number of competitions coming up that I should mention. As you said, the Women's League will be launching on the 3rd of April. We have the U19 launching on the 6th, the U15 launching on the 10th, the Conference League kicking off on the 16th, and the Premier League kicking off on the 17th. The Premier League, we want to play at the Karani James Athletic Stadium. All of our matches would be there, primarily because of the COVID-19 protocols, and we have to ensure that where we have this match, we're able to implement the protocols and ensure that the players are safe and the spectators are safe and comfortable. So there's a lot happening and coming. So stay tuned to us. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, we will be bringing games live. We always give you updates in terms of what's happening in football. So Joseph, I know you're definitely in tune with what's happening. Our Facebook channels, our Instagram, just type in Grenada Football Association and follow, like, subscribe.
As part of driving football, I know there are efforts to start commercializing it. And what's happening on your end with that? I'm not. I know prior to COVID, there was a drive to start selling national memorabilia and that kind of stuff. COVID threw a lot of things, a spanner into the works. But where are we with that?
We do have a lot in planning, and definitely COVID have impacted. However, we launched an initiative in February for independence, urging fans to wear their kits. As you know, it's Pride Day, it's International Grenada Day. So that was very successful. This helped actually launch and spark the interest of the fans into the team. People are still purchasing their replica. We have it going at a special price for only $100. We're now offering customization. So if your favorite player might be Joseph Cadore,
I like that.
You can place his name and number at the back. You can also purchase it online if you are in the diaspora. So we're definitely trying different fundraising avenues, and if you're thinking about supporting Grenada and you cannot come to look at our games, you can definitely purchase a replica. We do have some other merchandises coming on stream, but we're hoping that once we're able to have spectators again, we'll have it ready by then.
Do you get the sense, though, that when COVID is all over and done, Areen, it would change the landscape of football, the way the game is played, the way you interact, what is allowed, what isn't allowed?
It has, and it will. I mean, most of the things that we see happening now, some of it will remain with us. I think the passion would be even more, players would be even more driven. I mean, because, there isn't that, what if that person have COVID? I mean, just mentally thinking about it could be a hindering factor of performance on the field. So I think post-COVID, football is definitely going to as you say, boom.
And I agree with you. I mean, if we go back historically, we've seen it. Remember with the introduction when there was HIV. And HIV had literally, because there was still a lot not known about HIV, and guys were not going to, they don't want to be on no team with no guy because the scare of all of that. And today we literally didn't even hear any conversation about HIV in sport. I mean, the other day I was saying, I'm like, what happened to HIV? But even though while we say it kind of, I mean, jokingly, of course we do, and this is not, we're not saying to individuals to go there and live promiscuously, but we're saying that over time with education and training and knowledge, I mean, so here we are hesitant about a lot of things. 5 years from now, because I firmly believe in the next years to come, we'll have to continue to live with COVID, play with COVID, interact with COVID on a daily basis. But sooner rather than later, it wouldn't matter. It would be a COVID and us. And football is going to continue.
And the association, we have launched our Get Vaxxed promotion together with the Ministry of Health, urging persons to get vaccinated, because it is a way for us all to move on, for us to all go back to some level of normalcy in football. It is definitely a challenge. So most of our players are definitely vaccinated, and we are still urging persons to get vaccinated so that we can get back to the field of play. So that is one of the things that we have launched in playing our parts as the association to ensure that we help the government to get back to sports tourism.
And it's interesting that you say that, because the reality is that to get back to that state of normalcy, which is lost forever, it would be a new normal. It's important that each and every one of us play our part. While we may have our own individual reservations about things, and that is normal, but we respect each other with that. But we have to realize that as individuals, organizations, village, communities, that each and every one of us certainly need to play our part to ensure that we turn the corner, so that at least, as you say, we say goodbye to what we knew as normal and we embrace the new normal.
No.
The new norm.
Yes.
So we forgot a little bit last night. Last night 2-0. We're looking forward now to the return leg.
Definitely. So in case you're just joining us, we're talking about the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. The team will be playing their first home game Tuesday 30th. That's next Tuesday coming at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. We're not able to have fans at the stadium, so we have partnered with Flow to bring the game to you in your homes via channels 1000 and 1001 at a cost of only $20. If you have a sports bar and you would like to have a watch party at your venue, the cost for a commercial package is only $100. So all you have to do is call Flo at 444-3569 or 407-3569 with your account number and your ID. And just tell them, hey, I want to get the package to look at Grenada versus USVI. So we do have some partners on board with us. We have Umbrellas who would be streaming the game at their location. We have Junction Bar and Grill. We have Jackpot City in the heart of the town, Rama Bar in St. Patrick's, and we're also now still working to get different organizations within St. Mark's and St. David's to come on board with us. So if you do have Flow at your business, you can definitely contact me at 533-2090 if you're interested and want to know how you can be part of bringing the games to fans who don't have Flow at home. So again, all you have to do is contact Flow, add the package, make it a family event, pop some corn, put on your national colors, your flags, your hat, your t-shirts, and take some pictures. Tag us on Facebook, tag us on Instagram, tag the team. So just let them know, hey, we're Team Grenada and this is how we support. And that is the kind of support that the guys need to see behind the team.
Indeed. That is what they need. 25 minutes gone past the hour. It is the Mid-Morning Buzz, the televised edition. My guest here is Areen Lewis, and she's the commercial officer. Areen, we talked football last time. We talked merchandising. What have we getting ready to wrap?
So we also have a registration campaign happening, which was geared to ensuring that once you're a player, that you get registered in FIFA Connect, that we have all your information in terms of your name, pictures. So we had a photographer going around island-wide to ensure that all our players are registered. So even if you're not affiliated with a club, you can still come on down to Victoria Park today from 2 to 6 p.m. and get your photos taken, walk with your identity, add piece of ID, whether it be your birth certificate or your passport, and get your photos taken, and we smoothly upload your information on FIFA Connect. So if you are in the St. George's area, you can come to our office on Monday. We're located right next to the stadium between the hours of 2 to 6 p.m. To get your photos taken and to enter your information on our FIFA Connect. So we want all of our players to be registered because we definitely need to have your stats. You never know, a scholarship opportunity might present itself. So we are definitely trying to update our systems in terms of all of our players and the match officials in Grenada.
The registration the registration process started when and goes up. It goes up until when?
Those are the final 2 dates. We started early March, and we have been going to different areas. We've actually visited every parish, but now we're down to the last 2 days, today and Monday. Those are actually make-up days for persons who would have missed. So 2 o'clock to 6 p.m. today in St. Andrews, Victoria Park, and at the GFA headquarters on Monday. Again, if you missed anything, you can contact the commercial department 533-2090. We are available via WhatsApp, and you can also call us directly. So before I leave, thank you very much for having me. Thank you, Grenada, for supporting your boys, your Spice Boys. We're hoping that everyone purchase a package. It doesn't matter if you're home and your mom say, well, I can't make it, chip in at $20 and say, Mommy, $20. Add a package. Call Flo, show your support, purchase a replica. You can contact me to purchase your replica and get it customized. So it's all football. It's football is life.
It's all football. Football is life. Call the GFA 440-9903. Areen, before you go, so the last 2 days of registration. So there's registration for the players, match officials. I'm asking myself the question: under which of those categories do I fall, and how do I get into the system? What do I say to them when I show up?
That you're a top striker representing GBN.
I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that.
And I'm here to be registered.
Right. Okay, that's the story. I'm a top striker representing GBN. I know everybody in the GFA. Barbara is my friend. Areen is my friend. And I say, don't let me call Nisha for you. You know Nisha. You know Nisha Mout.
That's it, right?
Folks, going is the last couple of days for registration. JC gonna get it registered. I am gonna be on the FIFA Connect. Oh, good boy. Look at this one. I'm telling you, folks, it is 29 minutes gone past the hour. I did say to you that today is all football. Thanks you, Areen, commercial officer inside of the GFA. We have another wonderful crew that's coming up. It's a group of former national players, and they form what they call the All-Stars Football Club. I'll tell you what they're up about, and they got some really wonderful plans for football. Thanks a lot, Areen. All the best to you, and all the best to the rest of the folks inside of the team. Oh, good morning, Alvin. Oh, my boy Alvin. I'll be saying, oh, my boy JC here, man. We take a quick commercial break, and we're going to be right back.
Well, we see from since the last time you here and thing happened, how things go with you and Doc, man?
What do you think? I get through. Watch.
Backyard.
We papa.
Backyard.
Check them, all of them are money and them, real money. Don't watch Doc soon.
You're nice.
So what, Doc moving? I know you all in.
No. Doc not moving, but you know what? I want any of me did starting to catch up with me, you know. Like some kind of retribution, because I find like every morning I get up, I see some strange spot. You want your neck. Yes. You want there. You want here. You want like in places where you're not supposed to have Mark. And I see Mark. And he do nothing.
Listen, that is a legal. Legal what's talking you. You see, legal what's talking.
Let me ask you a question. You don't see anybody around your yard early in the morning when so as you wake up?
Yes.
Going illegal what's talking?
And it's my neighbor. That to be my neighbor.
That
is illegal. That's illegal. Get a bag of salt, sprinkle around the house. You're catching
Watch.
that.
He counting salt until next year. All they just do talk. Don't say a word.
Well, you can't talk because once they talk, they'll disappear. Join us this Friday on We Culture, and we go tell you about Ligaro. Well, scholars know about Open Door, but we go tell you, we might even tell you about Sukuya, and we're going to tell Risi how to hold that Ligaro. This Friday on We Culture.
Adi.
29 minutes actually on to the hour. 29 minutes on to the hour. Oh, what is going on here? We're keeping our eyes on the clock. Again, we say good morning again to you for those probably just joining us here on GBN's television, channel 7 and channel 11, channel 20 if you are on cable. Those of you that's locked in via Zoom, no, not Zoom, via Facebook or via our YouTube channel or on our website www.gbn.jd. It's your boy JC here with you. My next guest, it's going to be some wonderful folks, former national players. They formed what they call the All-Stars Club. And, you know, they formed the All-Stars Club. You ever heard of Murphy's Law, Timon? Murphy's Law says if anything goes wrong, it goes wrong at the worst possible time. I just realized that Zoom just chimed out on me. Okay, so here's what we do. There's always to every action is an opposite but equal reaction. Yeah, that's Murphy. That's Newton's law of motion. Yeah, we'll take care of that. So here's what we do. Zoom just chimed out on us, so it means we take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with you right here on the Mid-Morning Buzz. Fresh from victories in the T20 and ODI series, the West Indies, under the captaincy of Craig Brathwaite, now turn their attention to the two-match test series. It's international cricket, West Indies versus Sri Lanka. First test, March 21st to the 25th, and the second, March 29th to April 2nd. It's cricket, lovely cricket, live on Classic 105.5 and 105.9.
Broadcast of the test series West Indies versus Sri Lanka is made possible by Glen, serving the nation. Spice Isle Imaging Center. Republic Bank, we're the one for you. Camahorn Medical Center and Quartz Grenada Limited, bringing value home.
Greetings. This is Eugene Gattuso, and I'm inviting you to join me every Saturday morning from 10 to 12 on K105 starting March 20th as we bring you the brand new program Grenada's Music to the World. We'll be featuring music from all genres by Grenadian artists at home and abroad. If you're a Grenadian artist and would like to get your music featured on the program, please send it to grenadasmusictotheworld@gmail.com. Celebrating our own Saturday mornings 10 to 12 Classic Radio beginning March 20th. See you then.
There's no better way to start your day than with me on Good Morning Grenada. Good Morning Grenada is your one-stop shop. We have information, education, entertainment, your bi-weekly traffic cam, and we link up with the sister isles of Carriacou and PT Martinique. Join me every 6:35 on weekdays for Good Morning Grenada. It's your daily dose of all things Grenadian, mixed with just a little bit of crazy.
Good morning, good morning.
I said just a little bit of crazy.
I tell all of the thing that's take me.
Good Morning Grenada, 6:35 a.m. on weekdays, available on all GBN platforms. Start your morning off right.
Holidays on a Friday. We're going to take the music and welcome back, and our apologies for that. All things sorted out. The technology, sometimes it fails us, but here we are. As I did say to you that today, Friday, we're talking all things football, all things soccer related, depending on which part of the planet you're from. Some say soccer, some prefer football. Don't worry about that. But it's a group of former national players who, of course, they've hanged up their boots. They don't lace them as often as they used to. Our boy Chenny, who's head of the GFA, although he was ashamed, I asked him somebody, tell me, Joe, are going. I said, Chenny, when you fight, you get fat. Yeah? So it is good when you have former national players like the president of the GFA who started to get it wrong like me. I said, come on, Chenny. But there's some former footballers, though. I don't think they made national level, but they did represent the club for because they've not. That's the only plus in them. Like Glen, who managed to stay fit all their life. It must be because you're running around behind those children for all these 30 plus years. Good morning, Glen. Good morning, comrade. All the folks of the All Stars FC. How are you?
Good to be on, especially with my favorite sport, football.
Well, indeed. And a lot of people they may not know, Glenn, but you did play quite a decent amount of football in your years. You played.
That's the only thing I did for PBC.
That's the only thing you did for PBC. I remember, yes, Glenn. I mean, you were really, and I won't say that you and I were in the same league. Sorry, you and I were not in the same league when it came to football. That's much I would say on that, and I don't want you to comment. I do not want you to comment. You were not supposed to comment, Glenn. Just leave it like that. The prevailing statement was you and I were never in the same league, and that's the truth. That is the truth. Then there's a little buzz, a little excitement that's happening in the air. I don't know, you guys. You can't wait to undo the unveiling. But they go by the name All Stars FC. All Stars Football Club. I can't remember hearing them. Who's All Stars Football Club? But it is a venture that is ready to literally take off, and you're part of it. Talk to me about it.
We are ready and ready to go to do a formal launch. As the name suggests, All Stars FC. While we may have stars in it, but it's an initiative of the present president of the GFA, and it is an opportunity for enthusiasts, motivators, role models, footballers, etc., to really come together to make a move, to make a difference within our communities, which includes Carriacou and Pitimat. So it's an initiative whereby we come together, and as the name suggests, all stars, because we want to be shining all over to really make a difference within our community. We are in the process of planning our activities, finalizing our activities, and as we begin to unfold more and more, you are going to hear who is associated with us, who are our ambassadors, who are our sponsors, and
So this All Stars, as it is, this initiative it takes us beyond the scope of just footballers. Is that correct?
Yes, it is our intent to visit different parts of the island. While football may be the trump card, but we're hoping to get the opportunity to meet with villagers, meet with young people. We will have talks, and our activities will vary. All right, it would give us an opportunity also, and maybe you too, Joe, because there are a number of different teams, different sectors. Our All-Star Club will associate with,
okay,
to more or less bring about socialization, and at the same time bridging education and the likes as we go forward.
And I'm happy you said that, because my initial understanding, I'm happy that you get it, because when I heard the All Stars, I thought it catered specifically just for former national footballers. But now, as you said, it's not just All Stars in the context of football, but persons that's willing to make an impact, be a change agent, but football being the vehicle that you would use.
Yes. So, you know, like how you may go to a village and not really canvas, but just by your presence and who's present there, football will be there, but at the same time, we will be able to interact with villagers and young people, the likes. As I said to you, while our primary focus is using football, off my head, I know we plan to do, let's say, a walkthrough, a health walk. So more or less, it caters for the all-round development of everyone, not leaving out anybody. But most of the persons who are associated with and who are members of the All-Star FC at some point in time might have graced the football field.
I know you're trying not to you're waiting for the big unveiling to start revealing some of the names, but you can't tell me what to say. In my program, you come, I could call anybody's name, because the little birdie said to me, hey, so of course our former national, our GFA president, former national captain is on the team. Somebody said to me as well, the commissioner of police.
Oh yes. He is there. We also have, is it Pastor King?
Yes. You got to try some names, man. You got just to get us excited.
Well, of course, we know we have. We even have entertainers, Little Natty, and so.
Nice.
So, in terms of all round, we know we want to be able to cater for different sectors. So we'll have entertainers. So we have Boise also. So these are just a few persons. But it is our intent to make it all around. So based on the activity we have, we may just cater for a different part of the population, but at the same time, we want to ensure that our activity can be a nice family affair whenever we touch them. I know we have a management team so far, and we were speaking as to where we can go first and how we can do it. But when we look at it, we have persons island-wide being part of the team. And I want to show you, Joe, I want to show off.
Glen. Oh, I mean, seriously. I mean, I would have thought that you would have been sensitive enough to my feelings that even if you had to put JC on the back of one to come and flaunt it on national TV, but you go ahead, show us your.
But you never know. You may have to work your way up to become one of our ambassadors. So at the same time, you may not have to make a token contribution towards your uniform.
Okay.
Okay. All members so far have branded uniforms, so the name and the numbers. So I'm just showing you, and I just want to say too, I was just running to get back to this interview because this morning we went to make a presentation to the Minister of Sports.
Right.
This thing is going to be all around and not just a few. And it is a good opportunity for persons who are not really directly involved in any clubs. When you hear the names like persons, it's like our objective is to bring some of the past footballers back onto the football field. In speaking to President last night, he said they usually have a nice gathering of his kind of caliber age group on the Marion playing field. But we want to be able to bring that. Imagine to see the Commissioner of Police being a part of the organization and to really bring some form of dignity to the organization. And I really think that we have a good pool of professionals, footballers and football enthusiasts, etc., persons who really and truly want to make a difference within our community with football.
What I particularly like about the mix and where this is heading, Glen, that very often persons they feel they might be interested in making a contribution because they may like the vision, right? But they think it's an all-star club that I can't get into. But I'm liking the mix. Former players, you have Commissioner of Police, you talk about some of the entertainers. So it literally caters for the young and upcoming, and it's interesting because very often sports now has become a mixture. I mean, we've gotten what is the term that is term? I think Waggy uses it. Of course, there's football, and there is you cannot forget the entertainment element of it. So it's good that you've seen a lot of young folks from across different spectrum wanting to get involved and actually are involved.
And Joe, I my line of work. I just really like reaching out to my community, and the ideas have been flowing left, right, and center. What about the possibility of, let's say, building the FC going out to reach out to maybe a past footballer or to a family to, let's say, maybe build a house.
Right.
What about canvassing or going to an area so that you'll be able to share information as it relates to an ailment, as it relates to a disease or something like that. So we, as an organization, want to be that engine to take these things a little further and at the same time ensure that we are able to make a difference for everybody's life, because we know how hard it is for some people to really get out and to be active again and to be a part of such FC. It really, for me, I've been trying to get and this is one of the reasons why I do a lot of exercising and hashing these days, because I know very soon I will be back on the football field.
Oh, Glen, that's what this is all about. You just want to get your name in the news? Seriously? I mean, I honestly thought, Glen, I'm disappointed. I thought all of this hashing was because you have bought into a new sense of health consciousness.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize you just want to go and star on the field again.
Joe, and I must say, and if that's the only message that has been given today with this interview, I have been involved. I got involved in being physical again because it's a way of coping with the environment we have existing now.
Right.
No longer we can, because it's a lot. It can even be more stressful for workers. You know, I'm a school teacher, and school is not as it is before. The support in different areas, while it might go down, but at the same time, I know because of the love I have for my job, regardless of what is being said about teachers these days, there are many teachers who do quite a lot for their students.
No arguments on that. No arguments on that.
And this is one of the ways for me, I cope with the time, because I may have a hard day at school, I may have some deadlines to meet, but when I go out and get physical, when I come back, I feel re-energized to get into them. And I think for Ulster FC, this is one of our aim and objective.
Folks, it is a story. It is. But let me ask you, Glenn, because we're going to wrap it. But this is just the start of an ongoing conversation that's going to take wings. There might be somebody that they've heard, they're listening, they're looking on, and they're thinking, you know what? I want to be part of this initiative. How can they get involved?
Well, Joe, we continue to be in the building stage, because of course, as we go around, remember I mentioned it to be a family oriented. So
right.
in organizing, definitely there are different areas, and I guess persons they know who we are, they can contact. But it's not a walk in the park, Joe, because you know when you have a new thing, everybody would want to jump in. We do have our core values, we have our mission, we have our vision, and very soon we intend to do a media launch so we can share that with the general public.
Right.
Off the bat, we will also need some form of support, because as it is, yes, we may organize fundraisers and so, but it's nice. We were saying that we can partner with different organizations. We may have something for the kids, and you may find there's a company who want to donate some stuff that we can give to the kids. So all of these things, we are in the process of working with. We in the process also of sending out some introduction letters so that the general public and key persons would know or hear about us. But after that, in terms of sponsorship and partnering with the organization, this is open. We will, and everything is in process, register as a non-profit organization so that whatever funds come in, we know it goes straight back to community, and it's all about nation building. So we're happy to be a part of this, and yeah, All Stars FC.
All Stars FC is the latest initiative. I certainly want to get on board. We keep waiting. It is still in its embryonic stage as it is. But some of us, I know like myself, who really can't wait to see this blossom into a full-grown venture that, you know, we can sit maybe, Glenn, 5, 10 years, 6 months down the line, a year from now, and, you know, and say, what? This is great. You know, I was part of this, and I would want to be part of it. And you can see how we can help, literally, through sports, entertainment, and everything else, to impact each other's lives, maybe on a one-on-one, a village, community, and a nation. And at the end of the day, football on a whole, as we say, all praise, and we say kudos to the All Stars FC. Glenn, thanks a lot. I'm trying to tune my mind as to how I get involved.
No, Joe, there will be a place for you, because if you are an entertainer, then possibly you can see if you get to bring the water for the entertainers. That is a way of you
Glenn, that's what you have for me, the water boy. Glenn, you know.
But Joe, you can start somewhere. Remember Kelly Jack had a size like you, if you know football. So you can begin somewhere.
But what I don't understand, you know what? I just go straight to the NFL, you know. I just go straight to the NFL and be a defensive lineman, and I'll be fine.
But Joe, before you go, I want to make an appeal to our so far 40 members of our initial discussion tomorrow Rio activities. We do have a WhatsApp group with them, but we have an initial discussion tomorrow at 2, so I'm just reminding them publicly to log in. The Zoom link will be sent to you, and let us have that short discussion, because come next week, we will begin the process of having activities to gel with the team. And you too, Joe, we will speak to the media as to what is our next step and get more insight as to what the organization offers for our nation.
Glen, the one guarantee you have that, of course, here at the GBN, you have my support, you have the entire GBN support in terms of our role and involvement in disseminating and keeping the public in the know. 8 minutes onto the hour is the All-Stars FC, yet in its embryonic stage, but we know one day the stars will indeed shine bright among us. Thanks a lot, Glen. All the best. Have yourself a wonderful day.
Thank you, Joe. Same to you.
Okay, bro. 7 minutes on to the hour. We're bringing the curtains down on today's edition of, the mid-morning buzz. So it's almost been a pleasure being here with you. It's your boy JC. We're getting ready to say goodbye. For those of you that is on television, we're going to be sending you back to Master Control for you to resume your regular programming for today, Friday. And for the listeners on Classic 105.5 and 105.9, reminding you that the midday edition comes up at the top of the hour, a production of our news and current affairs department. Peace and love to you. JC loves you. I gotta say goodbye to you now, reminding you, West Indies, they drew the first test, the second test starts on the 29th. When is the 29th? When is the 29th? Is it Sunday? When is the 29th? What today is? Yes. So the second test is on its way, and we are getting to understand. We've been having quite a good stint here with cricket. We had regional cricket, and we have international cricket, and we understand news that the England, they'll be touring the Caribbean next year, and later on there were some other tours, Australia and everything. So COVID or no COVID, we're doing our best. I'm reminding you folks that, of course, the Olympics. Yes, the Olympics. It is on the calendar. We want to encourage you out there in the corporate community, common board. Difficult as it is, but certainly we want to make this something that we here at the GBN, we at Grenada, we can be proud of, and to say, yes, we're part of Olympics 2021. This is the way I say so long, farewell, goodbye to you. It was a pleasure being here with you. I want to encourage you to continue to live life and love life. Treat each day as though it's your last day on planet Earth. And after all is said and done, you sleep, you awake, you realize you're still here. I encourage you to start living all over again. I'll leave you with this one from George Michael, Careless Whisper.